Help! I have to sell my current house before I buy my next one. Where do I start? This is a question I get asked all the time, and that's what I'm tackling in today's video. Hi, I'm Elisabetta Sheehan and I'm a local real estate agent in the greater Nashville area. I specialize in helping sellers selling their home as well as helping out-of-state families relocating to Middle Tennessee. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, thank you so very much, and don't forget to subscribe down below to get notified every time I release new video content. But let's get going on today's topic, selling and buying at the same time. Do you remember when you bought your very first home? All you had to worry then was about being a buyer in that transaction. Now you want to move to your second or maybe third or fourth home, and you have to worry about being both buyer and a seller. You might need the equity on your current home to purchase the next one, and the stress here is multiplied. I get it. Maybe add to that a cross-country move to a city you don't know, and that stress could be almost crippling. So today I'm going to do my best to help you figure it all out by going over several tips about selling while buying. Tip number 1. Understand your finances. There is a big difference between needing to sell your current home to buy your next one and wanting to sell your current home before buying the next one. Of course, you don't want to pay 2 mortgages, but if you can't qualify to purchase your next home without selling your current one, that is a very different financial situation than those who have and must sell their house to qualify for the loan on their next one. If you fall into the category of wanting to sell your house before buying your next one, then you definitely have more freedom when it comes to purchasing your next home. You don't have to use the same contingency somebody would have to use who has to sell their house. This would give you a leg up in negotiation, especially in a seller market as we are right now. Sellers do not want to worry about whether your other house sells or not. They have plenty of other buyers. They don't have that contingency. But now, let me be very clear here. You can still sell your current home and use those proceeds to buy your new one. The difference is your purchase is not contingent on you selling your current house to buy your next one. And that is the big difference. On the other hand, if you fall in the other category and you need to sell your home in order to qualify for your next one, you are certainly not alone. However, you need to understand that this is an additional contingency that not all buyers have. Most of sellers, especially now in the current market we're having, do not want to worry about that extra contingency from their buyers. A buyer that doesn't have another home to sell is much less risky, and I want you all to know that it gets trickier in a multiple offer situation, so you must set your expectation accordingly. Tip number 2, don't put the cart before the horse. The cart being your next home and the horse your current one. If you can't buy a home before selling your current one, then you really need to focus on the current home sale. It is so easy for people to get excited about their next city or their next move that they spend tons of time focusing and researching online. And I completely get it, and it's great, and that's why probably a lot of you are even watching my video to begin with. However, at the beginning of the process, you need to spend most of your time and energy focusing on the sale of your current house. So spend the majority of your time focused on getting that house ready. Declutter and repair the items that needs to be repaired. It can be time consuming and it might take longer than you think. So start now, and when you have that extra time, you can absolutely go browse online and look for houses in your new city, watch videos about it, and get all excited. But the priority has to be getting your house ready for sale so you can sell quickly and for the most money. tip number 3. If you're moving to a new city, you need to find an agent in that city. As you know, all agents are not created equal, so you need to do your due diligence to find the right agent for you. You can even contact me regardless of the city you're moving to. My brokerage has a whole network of referral partners around the country, and we can set you up with a great agent. When you reach out to your agent, be very specific about the things that are important to you and listen to that agent for feedback. That agent should be able to focus your online search to areas that best fix your needs. He or she should also be able to put together a plan for your in-person visit, which is my next tip. Tip number 4, visit with a purpose. If you have enough time before you move to take multiple trips to your new city, please take advantage of that. And if you have that time, your first trip should be an introduction trip and not a hunting trip. Why not a house hunting trip? Because if you aren't a ready buyer, the houses that you are seeing now are not going to be available whenever you are ready. However, touring neighborhoods and getting an overall feel for the city is really the best use of your time. You can visit as many times as you like, but your last visit will be your home buy visit. And when you come for that one, your current home should be under contract. Now, why does it have to be under contract? Brings me to tip number 5, making an offer. You know which neighborhood you want to be in, you have been keeping track of inventory coming on and off the market, and most importantly, your current house is under contract. You are now ready to buy. You set out with your real estate agent, me, to find the perfect house. And remember what I said earlier about the contingency. Because you have to sell your house to buy your next one. There might be sellers that don't want that extra hurdle with your contingency, especially right now that we are in a hot seller's market. So try not to be offended by that. If your current home that's under contract has already undergone inspection and appraisal, make sure that you are letting the seller and their listing agent know that. That means you are further along with the process and your contingency is a little less risky at that point. Don't be surprised if the listing agent in your new city wants to contact your agent in your old city to double check on that contract to make sure everything is moving smoothly. And this brings us to tip number 6, navigating the move. Timing is super important when you are dealing with 2 transactions. I always advise to make sure you have a fairly long escrow period on the sale of your current house. You need that time to get to your new city, find the perfect house, go under contract, and have enough time to process your next loan. If you're going to have a moving company, make sure you consult with them early on to find out approximately how long it would take them to get from your current city to your next one. If it's a few days, that gives you plenty of time to close on your current house, pack up your car, and drive to your new city. But that time, the money will be posted and you can close on your new home. Bottom line, selling while buying is tricky, but it's definitely doable. Getting agents to help you during the process is key, as well as focusing on selling your current home before you start shopping for a new one. Once your house is ready to sell, then you can get super excited about your new city. Remember that the more desirable your current home is, the more control you are going to have over the process of that closing. You'll get a higher price, you'll be able to ask for a longer escrow period, and everything will go super smoothly. And this is all for today's video. Happy home hunting, everybody. I'll see you next time.